Paranormal investigation at the Nunnery, Malvern. Built in 1879, the Nunnery is a sprawling Gothic building, once home to 250 nuns, and complete with its own chapel. Its labyrinthine corridors and eerie basement have long been the subject of whispered tales. Over the years, visitors have reported disembodied voices, shadowy figures and objects that seem to move on their own. On this night, Beth and I joined Paranormal Presence Investigations to see what we might experience for ourselves. We arrived at 8 p.m. As I stepped into the cloisters and reached for my camera, something dark moved swiftly towards me before vanishing into thin air. It was far larger than a bat, but I couldn't say what it was. The encounter happened so quickly that I had no chance to capture it on camera. It set the tone for the night ahead. Vigil 1: The basement. We began in the basement, a cold, echoing space where we placed our equipment, REM pods, cat balls, laser grids and spirit trigger toys, and called out for any presence to make itself known. We didn't catch a direct response, but we did hear distinct bumps, knocks and the sound of furniture being dragged above us. Later we confirmed that nobody from the team was in those rooms at the time, making the noises even more unsettling. We left the basement and moved upstairs, each taking different rooms and setting up equipment. Beth and I read the Lord's Prayer aloud and received clear sensor activations, with a strong impression that someone named Henry was nearby. We also tried a human pendulum experiment, which produced positive responses from more than one spirit. One appeared to be a young girl, just 16, who said she had taken her vows to become a nun. Another presence felt male, and became physically forceful, pushing our participant several times, until we ended the session. Vigil 2: The chapel. After a short break we headed to the chapel, an impressive but deeply atmospheric space. We set up temperature sensors, REM pods, cat balls, laser grids and more. Several of us saw shadows moving above the vestry, and our motion sensor went off multiple times. The laser grid even shifted in a particular area, and more than one of us noticed it independently. We held a midnight mass, reading the Lord's Prayer aloud with varying responses. To test the atmosphere, we even played the Lord's Prayer backwards, but this produced no clear effect. The spirit talker gave us the name Bertie. Later we discovered that a priest named Herbert had been historically associated with the building. A coincidence perhaps, or maybe a faint echo of the past. Other phrases that came through included, deceptive, Mr. Taylor, Sarah, I will follow you, empowerment, and I'm afraid for you. Closing the night, the basement again. We finished our night by exploring the far side of the building and returning to the basement. Here we held a brief Ouija session, and seemed to contact a 6-year-old child who said she was with her mother and siblings. When asked if she was happy, she responded yes. We closed the board and ended our session. It was an intriguing night at the Nunnery. Between the unexplained noises, shadow figures and the responses we received, it felt as though the building was alive with memory. As always, it's a privilege to explore these old places, and to leave with more questions than answers. Would we go back to the Nunnery? Without hesitation. The building has a heavy atmosphere, but not one that felt threatening. More watchful, as though the walls themselves remember everyone who passed through them. We left with the sense that there are many more stories waiting to be uncovered within those cloisters and corridors, and both Beth and I agreed we'd return in a heartbeat to continue the investigation.